Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bachelor Nation's Jack Lencioni shares thoughts on Golden BIP. Golden Bachelorette fans were sad to say goodbye to Jack Lencioni. He was one of the men who didn't receive a rose from Joan Vassos on the latest episode. The caterer, 68, shared his thoughts on appearing on Golden Bachelor in Paradise if the spinoff happens. Whom he thinks Joan has strongest connection with, Jack Lencioni made an impression on viewers and Joan Vassos by belting out Frank Sinatra's My Way after exiting the limo. He did get a rose the first night but was sent home in week 2. He chatted with Entertainment Weekly after his exit. Jack said he enjoyed his time on the Golden Bachelorette, especially living in the Bachelor Mansion. When asked which of the remaining suitors has the strongest connection with Joan Vassos, he named front-runner Chalk Chapel, but had a few nice things to say about some of the other suitors. How his family really feels about his Golden Bachelorette appearance. Jack Lencioni admitted to Bachelor Nation's Nick Viall on a podcast that his family wasn't happy about him joining the Golden Bachelorette. But he clarified to EU that while his family was hesitant, they enjoyed watching him on TV once the season started airing on ABC. He told EU that being away from his family was difficult. It was probably being away from the family and missing my 3 grandchildren and my 2 daughters. He also cleared up any confusion about how many daughters he has. He misspoke in the last episode and said he has 3 daughters and 2 grandchildren, but it's the other way around. Jack Lencioni shares thoughts on Golden BIP. Bachelor Nation fans really want to see more of Jack Lencioni. He spilled to Entertainment Weekly about the possibility of him showing up on Golden Bachelor in Paradise. The network hasn't confirmed the spinoff, but fans really want it to happen. ABC did announce earlier this year that Bachelor in Paradise will return next year after a hiatus. If Golden BIP happens, fans will definitely see Jack there. He said he'd join the show in a split second. Who gets to do this stuff at my age? I mean, my God. You go and ask me to do something, I'm going. Jack Lencioni never thought he'd become one of Bachelor Nation's most unexpected voices. The once self-proclaimed quiet guy in the back of the rose ceremony had found himself in the spotlight more than he ever anticipated after his heartfelt exit from the Bachelorette. But Jack had opinions, especially when it came to the evolution of the franchise that gave him, as he often put it, a crash course in love, heartbreak, and televised therapy. So when the whispers of Golden Bachelor in Paradise began rippling through the fanbase, Jack didn't hold back. It's about time, honestly, Jack told a packed podcast studio during his guest spot on Bachelor Unfiltered, hosted by fellow alum Dylan Barbour. The original Bachelor in Paradise has been the chaotic, sweaty heart of the franchise for years. It gave us iconic moments. Crabs, tears, love triangles that made zero sense in the daylight. But what the Golden Bachelor crowd has done, it's changed the conversation. Jack leaned into the mic, his voice carrying a kind of reverent mischief. These folks have lived. They're not coming to Paradise to sip margaritas and play chicken fights in the pool. They're coming to find something real. And honestly, I think it's gonna be the most authentic version of Paradise yet. Jack's enthusiasm for Golden BIP wasn't just performative hype. He genuinely believed the idea was groundbreaking. The regular Paradise, Jack explained, sometimes feels like a popularity contest that got mixed with a fraternity rush. You know, the cool kids dominate early, the new arrivals scramble for screen time, and it's this whole bizarre social ecosystem. But the Golden crowd, they're past all that. They're done pretending to be who they're not just to fit in. He smiled, pausing as if savoring a memory. I watched Joan on Golden Bachelor and man, the way she navigated heartbreak. That's a masterclass. No dramatics, no performative victimhood. She just owned her feelings. Imagine a whole beach of people like that? It's not gonna be like, who's gonna steal who from the daybed? It'll be more like, how do we want to spend the next 10, 20 years? Do our lifestyles match? Can we deal with each other's grown kids? Jack chuckled. Real-world problems. When asked about casting, Jack's imagination ran wild. I mean, give me Jerry, give me Joan, give me Leslie. But also, throw in some new golden faces. Maybe someone who's never even heard of the franchise before but is finally ready to date again after losing a spouse or after years of putting their kids first. You can't fake that kind of vulnerability. Jack also had a few suggestions for producers. First off, he said, holding up a finger like a coach delivering a halftime speech, ditch the endless tequila shots. Swap it for sunset wine tastings, or heck, maybe pickleball tournaments. Give them activities that feel joyful, not juvenile. He paused. Also, don't force the drama. The beauty of The Golden Bachelor was that the drama came from life itself. People balancing decades of experience, grief, joy, regret. Let them have real conversations. Let them cry over things that actually matter. Like, can you imagine an overnight date conversation on Golden BIP? It's not gonna be about whether they live on the East or West Coast. It'll be, are we willing to merge Medicare plans? Jack grinned. He grew thoughtful, leaning back. But beyond the humor, there's this really beautiful thing the Golden spin-offs are doing. They're reminding people that love doesn't expire after 60 or 70. That romance, desire, connection, they're ageless. If anything, they deepen. Jack admitted he'd spoken to some former contestants who were skeptical. I get it, he shrugged. Some people are like, oh, it's just a gimmick. But I don't think so. Look, Golden Bachelor made me cry harder than The Bachelorette ever did. Because those stories, they're the ones that hit you in the gut. They've been through wars, divorces, cancer. And still, they show up. They put their hearts out there, in front of the world, for one more chance at love. He smiled. That's not a gimmick. That's bravery. When asked if he'd watch, Jack didn't hesitate. Watch? Dude, I'd be the #1 fan. I want to see Jerry flirting awkwardly in a Hawaiian shirt. I want to see Susan hosting sunrise yoga on the beach. I want to see whether someone like Edith starts a Golden Girl clique that runs the show from a cabana. I want to see the softer side of paradise. Jack even confessed he'd like to visit the beach himself as a guest bartender. Can you imagine? He laughed. Me, Jack Lencioni, standing behind Wells Bar. But instead of pouring shots, I'm offering horchata and heart-to-hearts. Tell me your fears, Hank. What would your late wife want you to do right now? He acted it out, voice lowering into Fox therapist mode before dissolving into laughter. But as the conversation wound down, Jack turned reflective. I think Golden BIP has the potential to be the franchise's most meaningful spin-off yet. It's not about who's the hottest, who's got the most followers, or who's playing the best game. It's about the raw, beautiful messiness of later-in-life love, the kind of love that comes with scars and stories. He paused, then smiled softly. And if that doesn't make for good TV, then maybe TV needs to change. Jack tipped his imaginary sun hat to the camera, ending the interview with the kind of grin that had, against all odds, made him a fan favorite.